duck in front. Keep the duck. Keep the duck. On the spot. Keep the duck.
Got him.
I like this 12 gauge. Like none of us have ever like hunted with only girls.
Now, get him.
And I think the more people that can see that makes, little girls think that they could do that.
The people that I have met and I have bonded with through DU have given me so much confidence.
A lot of people have asked me over time, why do I love duck hunting more than I love the others? And for me, it's like the dance. You're calling to try and see if they'll come dance with you.
We're a bunch of determined individuals and we push for wetland conservation. It is our passion.
Get him. Well done. Right.
To see them cut and dip and weave.
But seeing those ducks decoy and seeing that acrobatic moves in the air is something I never get tired of.
It was like the epitome of puddle duck hunting.
To watch the birds work is the real objective of the hunt.
Ducks Unlimited Television is presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting.
Greetings, fellow conservationists and waterfowl hunters. I'm Betsy Newble for Ducks Unlimited Television. Truth, this show will remain among my favorites for years and years to come. You see, I'm hosting my first episode, and that is such an honor for me. Secondly, it's the women with whom I hunted with who are the real stars of the show. Jordan Keller, Alyssa Godwin, and Nikki Swinson are all products of the Texas DU University program. Well beyond the Lone Star State, nationally, nothing compares to DU's college and university volunteers. Join in the fun on an exciting ladies hunt next on DUTV. This week we are at the amazing Spread Oaks Ranch. It is located in Southeast Texas, and they have really showed us what Southeast Texas hunting is all about. It's a very unique hunt because we have 3 very special young ladies that are leaders in our waterfowl and conservation community. Each of these young women have played a crucial role in the success stories of Texas Ducks Unlimited. We have Jordan Keller, who started out at Texas A&M as a chapter university president. We have Nicola, who has started not only her high school chapter, but she's also started a chapter at her A&M college in Kingsville. She has grown the chapter and really paved the way for other young women to get involved in the waterfowl community. And then we also have Alyssa. Alyssa and her husband have a taxidermy shop here in Texas, and you can tell how much hunting means to her and how passionate she is about these beautiful creatures.
We have a very exciting ladies hunt. This is some of our first time being able to hunt with other females, so that's very exciting.
It says a lot that we're, for some of y'all, this is the first time hunting with another girl.
And we were just talking about it. We're
On the way here, yeah.
first hunt. Like none of us have ever like hunted with only girls, and so that's so interesting to me. And
it just made my heart happy to be able to go in there and not have any judgment.
It felt good that nobody was going to judge me for what was in my bag because I bring like snacks, sunscreen, chapstick, gum, and looking over, I'm like, oh, they got the same thing. I'm good.
Keep that bird.
I like this 12 gauge. I think I'm gonna keep this thing. It's so funny, like seeing the same struggles that they have in the duck blind. Like me and Betsy were talking about how it's hard for us to push the shotgun shell in the reserve chamber because we have weak little women thumbs.
It was so freeing, but it was also the camaraderie of finally finding women that enjoyed the same things I did, and just this instant bond.
And we've had a lot of great conversations already about what we can do to encourage more women to get into waterfowl.
When I started, there were maybe 3 of us girls in a group of 50 guys, and Now to see you guys go to things like third term, that there's so many more ladies involved. I think that's really exciting for what's to come. And you have to recruit, we have to recruit more ladies. I mean, that's our job too.
Ducks Unlimited Television is presented by Drake Waterfowl Systems, innovators in waterfowl hunting. Mossy Oak Shadow Grass Habitat, the official camo of Ducks Unlimited. Browning Firearms, the best there is. Native Nurseries, hand-selected, hand-grown plants for wildlife. Higdon Outdoors, quality, customer service, innovation, that's Higdon. And Ducks Unlimited's Conservation for a Continent campaign. Our wetlands, our legacy.
Look like some bootleg.
I think we all come from the similar background of our dad and grandfather, or a male figure in our life, the father figure, definitely pushed hunting, and they're the reason that we're here today, because they're the ones that got us into it. Especially you, Alyssa. I mean, your career, your dad and your grandfather.
Especially my grandpa, just going to visit them in Michigan every year. It was so cool seeing all the decoy carvings. And my dad learned his taxidermy from him, and so one Christmas I remember like looking at my dad's work on the walls, and I was like, how did you even put that together? Is there a wire? And he sat me down, we worked on a blueing teal. I think it just kind of was in my blood, and I really fell in love with ducks.
Alyssa is a graduate from Texas A&M. She recently moved back to Texas from South Carolina, where she started her taxidermy career, and you can tell how much she loves what she does. When she's in the blind and she sees the bird she wants coming down,
Teal.
she automatically gets excited and a smile comes across her face.
So I am a bird nerd at heart, so I love like the science side of it. And so I love the science, so I wanted to go after the biologist aspect, and then I'm also like super creative, and so taxidermy kind of married the two together for me, and it's just, I can't really get away from it. It's all I want to do. Just that love for waterfowl, the love to get up at 3 in the morning and sit in the cold water. Like, people are insane to do that, but we love the birds.
Now, get him!
Nikki, do you want to talk a little bit about how your dad started you in DU?
So I would go out with my dad, we'd go hunting. I was like, oh my God, I get to spend time with dad. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to spend time with dad. And I remember sitting out in the blind, I was like, wow, I really love being out here. I was always his only little girl, so I think him taking me out to go hunting with him was something special. And I remember him joining the local chapter, and I was like, oh, well, I want to go. I want to spend time with dad, I want to help. And it kind of started from there. Like, I started going to banquets and stuff. I would help out here and there, and I was like, I want to do more.
Nikki is a bright person. Her passion for Ducks Unlimited runs deep. She's started not only her high school chapter, but she's also started a chapter at her A&M college in Kingsville, and she's made it very successful.
Now that I started my high school chapter and now I'm starting a collegiate chapter, I think I've come a long way in that perspective, and I could not have done any of it without having my dad's support there through the whole way. So I am attending Texas A&M University Kingsville. I'm going for pre-veterinary medicine, and I'm minoring in wildlife. And I decided I wanted to go to college for a sport, and that sport became track. I've come a long way with working with my time management, and I've always made time for my studies because that's number one. But I do make a good amount of time for both DU and my sports.
Nice. Well done. Good job, ladies. Well done.
Many productive waterfowl habitats are natural, containing wetland grasses and other plants that produce seeds and support protein-rich invertebrate communities important as waterfowl food. Around North America, both private landowners and public land managers cultivate moist soil habitats for waterfowl use. On the Texas coastal prairie, natural and intensively managed moist soil units provide high-quality habitat for wintering waterfowl. In 1991, under the banner of the Gulf Coast Joint Venture, a group of partners, including Ducks Unlimited, Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service, joined forces to create the Texas Prairie Wetlands Project, a private land wetlands conservation program. The primary goal of this habitat program was to restore and enhance winter habitat along the Texas coast that would provide food resources throughout winter, enabling waterfowl to acquire and store valuable fat and nutrients in preparation for spring migration. To achieve this goal, DU staff and other partners of the Gulf Coast Joint Venture work with private landowners in 28 counties along the Texas Gulf Coast. Landowners commit to maintaining and managing wetlands enrolled in the program for at least 10 years. Each year, the Texas Prairie Wetlands Project sites provide critical staging and wintering habitat for thousands of ducks and geese, including blue and green-winged teal, northern shovelers and pintails, gadwalls and redheads. Breeding populations of resident fulvous and black-bellied whistling ducks, along with mottled ducks, also rely on these wetlands for nesting and brood rearing in the spring and summer. To find out how you can help DU restore wetlands habitat all around North America, please visit ducks.org.
DU Insights is brought to you by Mossy Oak Properties. Find your favorite place at mossyoakproperties.com.
Now, shoot him!
Yes!
Do it again.
Jordan Keller was a student at A&M, and I first heard of her at third term. So they were using her as an example because she did such a great job with her Texas A&M chapter. And I was like, I would love to use what she has done at A&M and bring that to my college.
Well, when I joined the Texas A&M chapter as a freshman, they were already a very successful university chapter. I didn't know it at the time, but it's a pretty competitive thing amongst schools. And when it was sort of my turn to be a part of that officer team, you know, we had to get that #1 spot. And at the time, we were always neck and neck with LSU. And we always stuck by, we have to beat LSU, we have to beat LSU. And we did while I was there. And, you know, they're still a super successful chapter. I mean, they raise more money on a university level than some of our chapters in bigger cities do.
And that's the part that I think being in a university chapter helped me so much, is because you have to get the courage to even walk in the door and say, hi, this is who I am, this is what we're doing. Will you support us? I got so much leadership training out of that, I think.
She honestly is one of the best people to talk to about how to make leaders out of Ducks Unlimited volunteers. Jordan's one of those people that can explain it to you very easily, and she's very passionate about what she does.
It's hard to make time to volunteer when you're first out of college, and so something that I wanted to make a priority was continue my journey with DU. They said, you're coming to Houston, you're joining the Houston chapter.
Spent a couple years there, and then they asked if I'd ever thought about being the chair of the Houston chapter. And compared to college, I was really intimidated at first because, you know, some of these guys have been part of the chapter for 30 years.
Just walking in there with new ideas, what works at our school level chapter might not work in a big city like Houston, but they welcomed me with open arms, and that's the thing about DU is the people, we're all the same no matter where you go. Everybody's here for the right reasons, and we were able to put on an extremely successful gala, one of the top in the country, and you know, I couldn't have done that by myself, couldn't have done that on a collegiate level. Like, those were guys that just continued to be my cheerleaders.
I mean, like I said, I've made such great relationships through the organization. I wouldn't change my journey for anything.
Every waterfowl hunting situation can be different. At times, this may require your dog to work remote from the handler. It could be on a tree stand in the timber. It could be in a fully enclosed hide in the woods while you hunt the edge of a moist soil impoundment. Over here, we have Otto in a fully enclosed hide working remote from Hattie. Over here, we have Julep, who's the retriever that Will's gonna run. This is gonna require simple steps that you can start in your backyard. It's gonna take a lot of repetition before you're ready to go on the hunt. Let's see how we get there. How do we get our dogs remote steady? First, we start in the backyard. We need a helper for this. The dog is gonna be on lead with the handler next to them while your assistant throws the bumpers around. Our second step, the handler is gonna stand remote from the dog and throw the bumpers themselves and pick them up. The handler is gonna set this up so if the dog does break, he can get to the bumper faster than the dog. Now we move into the next step. This is very important. The handler is gonna be remote from the honor dog while another dog works. This is very important because now you've created a predictable habit that the dog understands he must sit quiet and steady while other dogs work. Once that's complete, let's take it to the field and see how it works. What's harder for a dog to do? Make that retrieve or watch another dog make a retrieve? Remember, you have to praise steadiness as much as you do retrieve. A calm, quiet dog is an excellent companion in the blind, and a steady dog makes for a safe hunt.
Duck Dog with Mike Stewart is presented by Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. DUTV is powered by Browning Ammunition, the best there is. BioLogic, scientifically proven wildlife products. Purina Pro Plan, nutrition that performs. Tetra Hearing, more than hearing protection, it's hearing perfection. Mossy Oak Properties, America's land specialist. Zink Calls, a champion in every call. Closed captioning for Ducks Unlimited Television is brought to you by Mossy Oak Bottomland, the official timber pattern of Ducks Unlimited.
Drake Mallard whistle by Zink Calls. Very unique design, pretty cool looking, but very functional. This call will do many, many Drake sounds. Of course, Drake Mallard. Widgeon. Teal, green wing. We'll do a pintail, and we'll also do wood duck. Very easy to blow. This is an add-on call. I use it a lot when the ducks are, especially if you're working ducks and they're coming over the top of you and they get just to you. If you blow your hen call pretty loud, they can really key in on where you are, your blind location. Where you get something like that, a lot of guys in the blind, or a young kid or a novice caller, or even mixing that in to where you're doing your hen calls. Guy in the background, maybe two guys. Just humming into that call. I like to mix a lot of different species into my calling regiment. Sounds like a flock of ducks in the marsh versus just a couple guys out there blowing hen mallard calls. So very unique, very versatile, very easy to blow. The Mallard Drake whistle by Zink Calls.
Hey, watch this.
Wait. Nice.
Yeah. Wow.
I've enjoyed hunting with each of you fun young ladies, and it's very inspiring to see what y'all have done for the organization and what y'all have done for the women in wetlands, and it's an honor to be able to hunt and share a blind with y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks, Dusty.
Nice. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity because I've never been on a hunt with just girls. And I think the more people that can see that makes, little girls think that they could do that.
Duck in front. Duck. Duck.
Got him.
Yes, you want Maddie or Buster?
The people that I have met and I have bonded with through DU have given me so much confidence out there in the field. Hunting with these ladies that I've hunted with, they are truly remarkable. I think this is my most confident hunt I've ever done with someone.
Yeah, I was telling my husband yesterday, I was like telling him a little bit about each one of you guys. I was like, do you understand how rare it is to find people that love the same things I do, but then are also like have amazing hearts? Like you find those people and you're like, okay, you're mine. I'm gonna keep you.
DU University is a master's class in business and networking wrapped in a world-class conservation mission. Resume building rewarded with a higher purpose. Wetlands conservation benefiting waterfowl, wildlife, and people. A huge thanks from me and the ladies to the incredible ownership and crew at the Spread Oaks Ranch in Texas. They are my heroes and conservation warriors leading the way in Texas and beyond. Thank you all. Please visit ducks.org and learn how you can help support our mission, and see you next time on DUTV.
That single? Shoot that single.
Jeez. I go him so fast.
Oh my god, it's so fast.
It happens. That's why they call it hunting and not killing.
Bye, buddy.